Sometimes in life you just have to accept you made a bad decision, like signing up for human experimentation under the pretense of earning good money, furthering the field of science, and being an overall credit to the future of humanity, only to have some terrifying nutjob with a hand up a puppet's ass drill through your hand while you're trying to eat one of your 5 a day. This is Mike, and he just signed up to the Outlast Trials, the 3rd installment in the Outlast trilogy. It sees the Murkoff Corporation up to their usual shady medical practices, all in the pursuit of money, power, and knowledge by any means. Today, we're going to have a look at some of the, oddities that Mike can expect to see during his stay here. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor. Now picture a secret organisation beyond the reach of the world's governments that studies and contains all the creepy shit in the world, also you can sleep safe in your bed at night. That is the SCP Foundation. Parabooks have obtained the most interesting secret files on everything, from the entity classifications to the doctors who put their lives on the lines to the vengeful gods that they keep contained. The books feature blood-stained research journals, professionally commissioned artworks, leather imitation hardcovers, and the print quality is top-notch. To get your hands on the only guide you will ever need to understand the SCP Foundation, follow my link and go and get the SCP journals today through Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, Blackwell, and more. Link in the description. Right then, so first are the Grunts, the most basic type of enemy Mike will encounter. These guys are more of a nuisance than a serious enemy. They're slow, they're quite easy to get away from, and they don't do a lot of damage. Bare minimum, Mike could just run into a dark area, pop a squat, and that's the chase over. The Grunts are just there to slow things down a bit and provide a little bit of difficulty while Mike is trying to complete the trial at hand. Next are the Big Grunts. Despite the fact they are a lot slower, these behemoths are a lot stronger, and they deal a fuckload more damage. They can wield makeshift axes, permanently break down doors, and knock poor Mike on his arse with a single hit. It's the equivalent of trying to stage a peaceful protest in front of a runaway train. It isn't going to happen. Fun fact, if Mike encounters an unarmed one, they will crush his head against the floor with their bare hands. Picture a truck running over a watermelon. If that didn't up the ante enough, there are different types of these big freaks. One of them is blindfolded but has much more sensitive hearing, meaning Mike will have to monitor his environment for noise hazards such as broken glass. The Pouncers, they aren't so much an enemy for Mike to worry about, but instead are more of a hazard. They lurk in hiding places such as lockers, barrels, and under beds. If Mike doesn't pay attention and listen out for the subtle hints of their presence, they will pounce on him when he gets too close. These bastards will then beat the absolute shit out of him, delivering strike after strike with a blood-curdling ferocity. Mike can expect to lose a fair amount of health and most of his teeth before he is able to break free. Next up are the Pushers. Not deadly, just another menace. The Pushers are a gas mask wearing enemy with a tank full of toxic gas on their backs. They'll try to sneak up on Mike from behind, and if they catch him, Mike will get the money shot and they'll spray a load of toxic gas in his face that will put him in a psychotic state. Mike can expect to see the Skinner Man if he becomes psychotic. The Skinner Man becomes more skeletal the closer he gets to Mike, and black tendrils will start growing out of him. The Skinner Man will walk behind Mike, dealing continuous damage. Thankfully he's slow so he can be outrun very easily, but Mike can't hide from him like the other monsters. Fortunately, when Mike manages to regain his sanity, the Skinner Man will disappear and no longer pose a threat, which is pretty straightforward even for Mike, because your sanity replenishes automatically after a bit of time, which is hard to believe after all the shit I've put him through. Screamers can go and eat a shit sandwich for all I care, another hazard much like the Pouncer. These guys will stand still and moan in the corner, but if Mike gets too close or makes too much noise, they will scream, and we're not talking about a small yelp. Oh no. We are talking about the kind of scream when you stub your little toe on a hard surface, and then stand on a piece of Lego, and then drop your pizza cheese side down on the floor while trying to regain your balance. Not only does the scream immobilize poor Mike, it also draws in every nearby enemy, making his situation exceptionally fucked. Once the screamer has done its thing, it will run away and set a new trap, so even when Mike thinks it's all over, it could very well be waiting for him in the next room. Imposters will only show up in cooperative mode, and Mike doesn't have any friends, so he's in the clear for this one. Imposters will impersonate one of your teammates and attempt to literally stab you in the back before running away. They aren't super hard to pick out in a lineup because their usernames are scrambled, they breathe like a fucking asthmatic during hay fever season, and they walk towards you holding a butcher's knife. The Night Hunters are a cunning enemy. While before Mike could hide in the dark, that's not the case with these guys. They'll quote Bane's "so you think darkness is your ally" line, pull some Bravo 6 going dark kind of shit, drop the night vision goggles and go hunting for Mike in the shadows. They'll even set up ambushes if he's not careful. Now before we get into the last two boss antagonists, a few honourable mentions to some extra enemies that I personally didn't encounter, but there are entries for them online, so either I just missed them completely or they aren't in the game yet because it's still early access. There are the pitchers that like to throw molotovs, the ground pitchers that can burrow underground, the climbers that can climb along ceilings, the tricksters that can create illusions, and a future boss called Prescott. Right then, let's put Mike up against the two heavy hitters. Let's start with Leland, an ex-cop who suffered a life of pain and torment. He was subjected to a lot of abuse as a minor, but before you go feeling pity for this man, he tortured animals as a child, exploited prisoners as a workforce, killed a couple of fellow soldiers when he served in the Marines, and supposedly killed all three of his ex-wives and some of their family members. He's very vocal, so Mike should have no trouble hearing him, not to mention the blue glow from his electrified baton makes it look like Dr. Manhattan is coming at you from around the corner. Mike will soon find out that he does a lot of damage, and he's a relentless pursuer, making him one of the harder antagonists in the game. But in my humble opinion, nothing comes close to Mother Gooseberry. Mother Gooseberry is an amazing villain, one of the best I've seen in some time when it comes to horror games. She's foreboding, creepy, completely mental, and fucking terrifying, but at the same time her backstory is sad and endearing. She's the daughter of a dentist who sadly died in his prime. After her father's death, grief slowly drove her insane. She had experiments conducted on her resulting in grotesque scars that she hides under a face she cut off one of her victims. All this pain and trauma resulted in her adopting symptoms of dissociative identity disorder. The puppet she holds on her arm is one of these personalities, and she often can be heard switching from her usual self, which is characterized by singing and talking about her love for her children, a callback to when her and her father aired a TV show for a young audience about dental health, and the Dr. Futterman puppet, which is a lot more violent. If poor Mike is caught by Mother Gooseberry, a drill will appear from the mouth of the puppet, and she will proceed to kill him with it. In fact, one of the warm-up sections of the game sees Mother Gooseberry drill through your fucking hand as you're trying to eat an apple. So yeah, have fun with this one, Mike. I am not optimistic about your prospects. Your options don't look good, to be honest. You can be chased around by the Grunts, you can have your head crushed into a fine pate by the Big Grunts, you could be beaten to death by the Pouncers, you may even be gassed by the Pushers, you may disappear into the fucking Shadow Realm along with your sanity to meet the Skinner Man, you may be blessed with ruptured eardrums thanks to the Screamers. It's likely you'll get stabbed in the back by an imposter. You'll definitely have to run away from the Night Hunters. The power of Zeus will come to smite you from above as Leland hunts you down with his electrified baton. And finally, Mother Gooseberry will end your suffering by drilling into your eye sockets. Oh, and you can also look forward to all the other fuck-ups coming to join the party when they are added. Check out this video for another great story, and please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, it really helps the channel. Special thanks go to Viger, Infinitune, GFHD, Techno Ninja, Sigurus, and Andre Beshert.